Thank
Okay,
you.
so let's get started with my session, which is building chatbots for Microsoft Teams. A little bit about me. I'm a Microsoft Apps MVP and a Microsoft certified trainer. I work at my organization, Catapult Systems, as a practice lead for the Power Platform. And I do have a channel on YouTube wherein I frequently blog all things Power Platform and beyond. So if you haven't checked it out, go and check out the content there. The topic of virtual agents. So one more thing I forgot to mention about myself. Tend to speak rather fast, and my slides also tend to move fast, as you can see. I'm going to try and control my slides. So the Power Platform is the low code platform that spans across the entire suite of products, M365, D365, Azure, and beyond. And one of the key services here is Power Virtual Agents, which allows us to build these intelligent chatbots in a low code, no code experience. Now, some of the complex challenges in building bots, and I would like to clearly highlight that this slide I actually got from one of the PVA presentations that Microsoft made. But what caught my eye was around the challenge that users face. So let me kind of move out of this mode. Sadly, it looks like it just wants to run. So one thing that I want to highlight around the complex challenges that users face when they are trying to build scenarios around self-service. One is 66% try to use self-service first rather than contacting an agent for assistance. Uh, I can give you my personal experience when I actually make when I call. I always prefer self-service first. If I want to know details about my account, or if I have my credit card number handy, or if I want to travel, put in number, it should status of the flight. I would like that to go through self-service rather than me waiting for an agent, to provide me assistance. Of course, the agent's assistance is going to be valid as well if the self-service tool is not sufficient enough to provide the results that I need. So 66% there is a pretty decent number. Next one is 90% of the customers expect consistency and continuity across channels, which is true. If I was to uh, go through a self-service experience and if I have provided a lot of details there, the channel, just as an example, changes to an actual agent. When I'm conversing with the agent, more or less the agent should have all the details that I already put in when I was trying to get help through self-service. For example, what's my name? What's my flight number? If I've already tried self-service and the tool is not able to answer, when it goes to the agent, I hope that the agent already has that information. And finally, all of 59% of all of these channels are typically managed in silos. These are some of the complex challenges that we face in customer service experiences in our day-to-day lives. Now, a chatbot, which allows a user to chat with a bot to get assistance, can help, but bots are hard to create and expensive to maintain. Also, there is impedance between the subject matter experts who have the actual answers and your developers who are creating those bots. Your SMEs or your subject matter experts and your devs or data scientists have to be in sync in order for that bot experience to be performant. One, second, it should be able to provide effective answers based upon what the subject matter experts visualize. And finally, bots itself aren't really useful unless they can integrate with your backend system. That's where the true power of bots comes alive. Now, Power Virtual Agents helps us alleviate all of those challenges. First, it allows us to engage naturally. So when the user is conversing with the bot, PVA leverages Azure AI natural language processing. So if you converse with the bot, it understands natural language. Next, AI. AI baked into this platform or this service. Next, you can continuously enhance the experience for your users. And finally, you can take action based upon the inputs that the user has provided. And Power Virtual Agents is built for everyone. It's built keeping everyone in mind, your customers, your subject matter experts, your IT admins, your devs. And PVA is built on, of course, the Power Platform and bot framework. Now, since Power Virtual Agents is a member of the Power Platform family, you have the ability here to use or leverage all of the connectors that this platform exposes. And this through a service that already does really well, which is Power Automate. Bot framework allows you to go beyond, it's designed on bot framework by the way, but it allows you to extend your chatbots and add additional capabilities to it. And all of this with Azure and Cognitive Services integrated into experience. And with PVA, you can build intelligent, no-code chatbots, which empowers your subject matter experts to create these bots through a guided graphical user interface. So you don't have to be an expert at building bots here to start creating a Power Virtual Agent. Engage naturally with your customers through natural language processing, which is already baked in to this particular service, and then to connect to your backend systems, Power Automate. So let's look at the anatomy of a Power Virtual Agent. First is, of course, since you're building this chatbot, it's available 24/7. This bot is available to service your customers. Reduced cost because you're building the bot in some simple steps, graphical user interface fashion, and then you're freeing up your resources so that users can chat with the answers they need. You can interface this bot, so meet your audience where they are. Teams, Slack, Facebook, custom websites, many other options. Intuitive design interface, so no need for any AI expertise here. Natural language conversation understanding is already baked into the service. You can take action by connecting to your data. That's the heart of PVA right there, which is calling Power Automate. It's backed by powerful analytics. If anyone was in the session for which Renu conducted earlier, she showed the bot analytics right there. I joined. I started from that point onwards. So yeah, you can monitor your bot performance. You can see how many conversations are taking place. What are the challenges the users are facing that the bot is not able to respond. So you can continuously back that analytic by continuous improvement of your bot, and you can get valuable insights further by pairing this with Dynamics 365 customer service insights. So basic anatomy of a Power Virtual Agent, but the key is the life cycle of a bot. So how do I go about creating a chatbot? So it begins with creating the bot using simple graphical interface. Then it heads over to the second part, which is getting topics. So you can either bring in topics or you can create your own topics so that the users can start conversing with the bot. Then you start authoring your topics through the authoring canvas, which is a guided graphical user interface experience. Then you can connect to your backend data sources, no matter where these data sources live, on premises or in the cloud. You can even call custom APIs. You can even build custom connectors. All of that through the power of a service that already does that excellently well. That's Power Automate. For the pro devs in the room, if you would like to extend the capabilities of PVA further, you can do so by leveraging the bot framework skills for additional complex scenarios. Then you want to publish your to different channels, make it public. Your bots could be anonymously available, or you could ask the user to authenticate to your bots. So you know the context of the logged in user as well. And through the powerful analytics that is provided, you can monitor your bot performance and continuously improve it. Now, Power Virtual Agents, the key here is when you're connecting to your data sources is Power Automate. And the way you connect to Power Automate is through a simple trigger that has been created in Flow called Power Virtual Agents. And in this trigger, you can add parameters that you can pass from the Power Virtual Agent bot to Power Automate. Flow can read that data, connect to any data source or data service of your choice, grab all that information back and send it, return it to your chatbot context through an action called Return to Power Virtual Agents. And the beauty is when you build a flow from PVA, this template is already baked in for you. I will show that in the form of a demo when I get to that part. Next up, so before I move ahead, one thing to understand is, yes, you have to use Flow today. So if you already know what Power Automate does, it's easy to get started with it. If you're new to PVA, you have to learn Automate to in order to connect to your data sources. However, this was announced a couple of months in the Wave 2 Power Platform announcements. The connectors that are available as part of the Power Platform, the 475 plus connectors, they will also come directly the topic is around Microsoft Teams, and Power Virtual Agents does love Microsoft Teams. One of the key announcements that was made in October 2020 was around Microsoft Dataverse for Teams. And Microsoft Dataverse for Teams is a built-in low-code data platform that is exposed for Microsoft Teams at no additional cost as long as you have the license for Microsoft Teams. The beauty here is that this data platform or data service that is called Microsoft Dataverse provides you relational capabilities for data storage with rich data types. And with this, inside of Microsoft Teams, you get the support to build low code experiences of the Power Platform. You can build Power Apps, you can build flows, and you can build chatbots at no additional cost. No additional cost meaning you need to at least have your standard Office licenses or that grants you access to Microsoft Teams. Where that this database that is exposed has a storage capacity limit of 2 GB per team. Now let's get straight into the demos. Can someone confirm if they can see my screen, please? Not this, but this. Can someone confirm if they can see the PVA licensing? I'll try and see in the chat.
Hello,
Not
Reza.
yet.
We can see your Dataverse for Teams PowerPoint slide.
Oh, you can still see that. So let me stop presenting and share my entire screen. I'm so sorry. Can you guys see my screen now? I'm popping up the licensing aspect for PVA. Can you guys see that?
Not yet. It's just
No.
a blank screen.
Oh, okay. That is not good. It says it's presenting. Let me try this again. So let me go and, all right, how about this? I'll just share my, let me try and see if I can just share my browser itself. How about now? Different way of sharing. Any better?
No.
No.
I've had a problem with Teams on my browser today, actually. I've had to refresh it a few times.
So I'm actually signed in to Teams on the client experience right now. So, you mind if I quickly drop and come back to the call? Is that okay?
That's absolutely fine.
Let me give that a shot. Okay, I am back. Let me try and share my entire screen again. Let me know if you guys can see my screen now. Any better?
I don't see it.
Oh, you don't? Someone said yes. Yes, I'm
Well,
getting yeses.
like I said, my Teams on my browser has been playing up all day. So sorry.
So
Yeah,
folks are
I'll
saying yes, so I'm happy. And you
I'll
guys
refresh
should be...
mine as well. Thanks, Reza. Thank you.
So I'm hoping you guys can see the PVA pricing screen. Now, why is Reza showing the pricing screen? Why not just straight get into PVA? Yeah, we can get into PVA and talk about it. But trust me, the number one thing that everyone should know is pricing. So Power Virtual Agents, of course, is not free. Not free. It comes at a price. The price to begin with is $1,000, and this is at a tenant level. So at your tenant level, you need to first have the PVA license. Then you can assign that specific license to multiple makers. And for $1,000, you can begin creating bots, of course, tenant. Bots per month can have up to 2,000 sessions. What's a session? And this is all given in very small text, but I'll try and. A session is a conversation between a user and the bot. If the user and the bot are conversing for 60 minutes back and forth, that's still treated as a session. If it goes beyond 60 minutes, then it's treated as a separate session. If I was to close the chat, come back, restart it, that's a different session. So there are sessions that are allocated based upon this license cost. So it's not unlimited in terms of how many conversations users can have. That's the first part around PV. What if I need additional sessions? You can buy an additional 1,000 sessions for $450. All of these are add-ons at a tenant level. Please, please, please bear that in mind. Now, when you have this specific license, you can directly go to PVA, and the way you do that in the browser is powerva.microsoft.com. This will launch Power Virtual Agents for you. And here is where you can start creating your bots. Now, first, I will just walk through some of the core concepts quickly of important concepts that you need to understand creating your bot. Here, you create a bot in the context of an environment. So bots are environment aware. Just like you create apps and flows, which are environment aware, you have those same environments here that you can select and go ahead and build bots. Multiple bots per environment. So that's the first part. Second, on the home screen, you click on this little link at the bottom, and this will pop this out where you can test your bot as you're building it. When you create a bot, you give your bot a name. Here's the name that I gave for my bot. And there is a lot of good learning materials in here. Many folks ask me this question: how do I get started? How do I learn? How do I test a bot? How do I publish a bot? I have questions. I need help with a bot. All those things are answered right here on the screen. You need videos to get started. You want to ask questions on the forum. You have some ideas you would like to add. Everything's right here. And the person who creates the bot is the owner of the bot. That individual can share the bot with other users as well and invite them to co-author your bot. And the beauty of authoring a bot is that when you go to the topics, when you start creating or editing a topic, that user's name will show up right here. If there are multiple users, this is a new feature that's come in PVA, wherein you can have multiple folks co-authoring topics. Now, topics is the starting point for your bot. Everything begins and ends with a topic. Now, when you create a bot, it comes with a lot of blank or default topics that you can get started with. And even in the topics that the PVA team has put out, they've actually added lessons that you can learn from. So check this out. There's a topic here called lesson 1. It says it's a simple topic. So I'm going to select this. And here it gives you a description of what this lesson is. For each topic, you can define trigger phrases. Trigger phrases basically implies how your customers who are actually interacting with the bot, when they enter a phrase, if that phrase matches with the topic, then this specific topic would be triggered. Now, in this case, there are 4 trigger phrases defined right here. And if we go to the authoring canvas, this will walk us through. This is the graphical user interface for the bot. We can see the trigger phrases. There's a message that we give out. There is another message that we give out, and then we end the conversation. Now, if you want to test this, I'll always recommend you to open track between. Let's test this out. Say hi. Now, when I say hi, hi is also a relate. It's a conversation I'm having with the bot. So even that word that I typed hi, it is going to check to see a topic related to it. And in my case, there is a topic called greeting that has 52 trigger phrases. This is a default topic that's created in the system. So it goes ahead and basically triggers that topic. And in there, I am greeting the user wherein I'm saying, hello, welcome to the bot. This bot can do these following things for you. So what can I help you with today? So that's the topic that got triggered because I said hi. Now, if I go back to this lesson topic, if we look at the once again, or the trigger phrases. So let's say I want to know about daily store hours. So I'm going to tell, hey, daily store hours. Now, when I do this, it understands that this is related to this topic based on the trigger phrase. And based on that, it gave me all that information. I'm happy to help with store hours. Your other store hours. Did that answer your question? Yes or no? So these lessons, learning exercises, how to add conditions, how to use variables, and so on and so forth. So I'll highly recommend you to go through those. And apart from these, you can your own topic. So let me create a very simple one, right? I'm going to create a topic here. I'm going to call this customer service. And here I can define my trigger phrases as to what does the user type that should trigger this phrase or trigger this topic. So I'll say, okay, customer service, service for customer, customer, and you can keep adding all of trigger phrases here. Recommendation is to add at least 5 or 10, but trust me, you would want to add as much as you can in here, because the more you add here, the more smarter the bot is going to get. And here, even if I misspell, so customer service bot, right? Even if I've misspelled the word customer, that is okay. It all understands natural language. It understands my intent. Now, once I'm done with this, I'll go to the authoring canvas. So customer service, this topic is being saved, and now I can start authoring my bot. So now it takes me to the experience of authoring the bot. And right here, I can first give a message. Hello, welcome to customer. Right, I'm just giving a greeting message. And here you can add nodes. And there are multiple things you can do here. You can ask a question from the user who is interacting with the bot. So if you need something, you got to ask a question. And here you can enter your question. So what's the last one? Did someone say name? So I'll say, what's your name? Right? So what's your name? And here I can define how the response will come from the user. So I can either give the user choices to choose from, which is the default, or I can get the entire response of the user, or I can use the next part, which I wanted to talk about, which is entities. Entities are pre-built models which basically relate to a type. So for example, entity called city, right? Called name. So here I'm asking the user, what's your name? If I was to search, I believe there's something called person name. So if I pick this, if I was to respond to the user and say Reza, so yeah, I just got to pick Reza. But what if the user says, hey, my name is Reza, right? Now, I've entered the text that says my name is Reza, but the actual name is Reza. So it will go and pick that up because of the model that's been baked into this entity. And you can even build your own custom entities, and I will show you that later as well. So you can ask questions to the user who is interacting with the bot. And for each question, the response that comes in goes into a variable. By default, it's poorly named. Please go edit this and change the name. So in my case here, I'm going to call this var name. You can make this scoped to the topic itself, or you can make it scoped to the bot. That means if I have multiple topics and I transfer from one topic to another, that variable value would be maintained. So in the next topic, I already know the user's name. I can that same variable. So you can ask a question, you can add conditions. So maybe based on the response, I want to add some conditions. You can show a message, which was post action right here. You can go to different topics. So you can transfer from one topic to another, or you can just end the conversation with a standard survey or transfer to an actual physical agent. So there are multiple things that you can do here. And it's very important that you pick the right option based upon your use case. Now here I'm just asking the user for their name. Let me ask another question. Okay, I'm going to say, what's your favorite color? Okay, I'm asking for the favorite color. There's an entity color. So I'll pick that and I'm going to rename this to var color. And then once the user enters that, I'm going to show a message that says here are the details that we captured. The first one is the name that you entered. Then you entered this color. And guess what? You also get some additional pieces of information. You can get the display name of the current logged in user, or you can get the ID of the user. For now, I'm just going to keep it as simple as this, and I'm going to save this. So right now I'm just saving the topic. Now, of course, this is a very simple bot or a topic experience that I just created. But in case you create, an extremely complex one, you would want to zoom in and zoom out and look at your entire process in one go. So those capabilities are right here. There's also this feature called recenter. So if I was to move around, I wanted to recenter, you see, it just recenters this canvas experience right here. You can even go and define a mind map. So if I know I want to move to this section, I can just quickly move here by using this mini map experience. And then all my variables are listed right here. Now let's try and test this bot. So I'm going to say customer service. So I'm having a conversation with the bot. I said customer service. My trigger was service, one of the triggers. Even if it was not close to it, it will still pick it up. So it picks it there and it says, hello, welcome to customer service. I see that right here. What's your name? Right now, check this out. I'll say my name is Reza. The entity I picked was person names. Now, if I play this should go ahead and pick the name. And I can see that variable value right here live in action. You see, it knows that the name is Reza. That. Now it says favorite color. Now, guess what? The user might make a mistake. The user might say Reza. Reza is no color. There's no color called Reza. Right? So what's your favorite color? It has to match a color. So let's say I'll put my favorite color, which is blue. So I'll put blue. You see, it goes ahead and picks the entity value for the color, which is blue. So those are the kind of things that this can do. Now, not just that, I can even say, hey, customer service, Reza here with favorite color blue. Okay. Now, I have to train this bot a little bit more, but in cases when it already knows that the user is triggering it and providing those values, it will also just fly through ahead. It won't even wait. So those are some of the key capabilities or the basic capabilities that you need to be aware of when you're creating your topics. And these topics, you can even bring in topics from websites. So if you have FAQs, or if you have supported web pages, any web pages that are supported basically, which have that Q&A style aspects in it. I know one that I saved right here. So let me try and pop this out. This is the FAQs on the CDC website for COVID-19. Really want this thing to end. So if I head back to my bot creation experience here, and I say I would like to bring in topics from a website, I'll just put in the URL. Make sure you remove this front part. I'll say add, I'll say start. It will start scanning that page, and all the Q&As there would come in as topics that are turn on or turn off. So you can even bring in topics if you have them ready. Entities, I already spoke about this, that it is extremely, extremely powerful. These are all the pre-built entities, plenty of them that are available. One of the new features that I really, really like is this regular expression type entity. Here you can define your own regex pattern. So there are a lot of examples here. I'll use one, credit card. Now there is nothing for a credit card number, but let's say I'm asking for a credit card number from the user in the bot. Well, why not just create an entity for that? So I'm going to say credit card number. I'm going to put that pattern right here. And this is just regular regex. Fine. Any pattern of your choice. I'll click save. So this now adds this custom entity that I built right in the entities. And now if I head back to that customer service topic that I had, so if I go to the authoring canvas here, let's say I ask a question, credit card number, I need that from the user, question mark. Here now I will get that option to pick that custom entity. So let's save this. And once this gets saved, let's just test this out. I just want to show you how it even understands custom regex. So if I say hi, this will go ahead and say, well, not hi, but customer service. That's the trigger for that specific topic. So yeah, credit card number. Now check this out. I'll just enter some random numbers. It's going to say, no, I didn't understand that, right? A credit card number is 16 digits, at least based on the regex that I defined. So here's the credit card number, and please don't copy this. This is not my credit card number. I'm just trying to go to 16 digits. All right, and sorry to whoever's credit card number this is, but here you go. I just entered a number that matches that pattern, and now it moved ahead. And right here, you can have that value in the variable as well. So that's the key. That's the power of entities. So if you're not entities and bots, I think you're really, really missing out. So go check it out, build your own custom entities because you want to grab having with your users. Analytics is great because you can summarize, you get a summary of the entire experience that the users are having with the bot. How many sessions, how engaged are the users, how long are they chatting with the bot, are they escalating it, they're not getting responses from the bot. All that information is right here. Which of the topics that are triggering the most? Are there any topics that are created here that are overlapping? Multiple users creating, so they may have created the same topics. This will go and let you know if those are the cases. Many a times when a user has conversation with the bot, maybe there is no topic that supports that. Now, all of the conversations are chat transcripts. Now there is this new preview feature that will give you topic suggestions based upon chat transcripts. It's extremely powerful. And there are many other details that you can see: how many sessions were built, how many sessions took place, total satisfaction, and so on and so forth. Then you have the ability, of course, to publish your bot. Publishing your bot basically creates like a major version of that bot. Every time you make a change, you have to publish the bot in order for that experience to be, in order for the users to leverage that latest experience. And finally, under management is where you have all the details of your bot. Here I have the name of my bot that I can change. I can give an icon for my bot, and I have some key pieces of information around my bot. Channels basically showcases where I can publish my bot to. I'm using a trial license and that's all I get. So here I can publish it to Microsoft Teams. I can pick my, I can just say go to Microsoft Teams. It'll go into the App Store. If the admin has to approve it, they'll approve it. You can push your bot out to your a demo website that Microsoft has provided where you can test your bot. You can push it out to your own custom website. I was actually using this for a year on my own website when I was asking for topics for blogging for on my channel. So I was actually using a bot. And there are many, many other channels and many more that are coming in future as well. So you can push this bot out to any of those channels. From a security standpoint, you can decide who you're sharing this bot with, who are co-owners, and decide who has access to this bot. You can define the authentication for the bot. If this is an anonymous bot, you can set this. If this is Teams based, or if you want to bring your own OAuth or go through Azure AD, you can do all those things right here. Skills is where you add skills, bot framework skills. It's what you can bring in here. This is for the pro devs. And finally, AI capability, more or less all in preview. And some of them I spoke about: topic overlap detection, topic suggestions, and so on and so forth. So this is the full PVA experience. Here I have a topic team. And this topic that I have, which is called team, which is for some reason not loading, just waiting for it to load. Here I have certain triggers that I have defined, which allows the user to create. So guess what? I'm using a bot wherein you can make a request to create a Microsoft team. Maybe my organization has access for users to create teams. They need to go through an approval process before they go and create the team. And I want to give them self-service. So guess what? I've built a bot for that. So here, let's say hi. So I'm conversing with the bot. I said hi, and the bot went to favorite color, which is a little weird. Let me try, and this is my org bot. Let me just reset this. And let's try starting again. I say hello. So I'm greeting the bot. It says, hello, welcome. This is a bot. I can do the following things for you. What do you want me to do? Well, I need to create natural language, a Microsoft team. Okay, so I'm telling the bot, I'm going to try and zoom in. I need to create a Microsoft team. So it says, okay, to clarify, it didn't understand my intent clearly, but it knows that these are the options, that the topics that it has at hand. So yeah, so I've given the name of my team. So now it captures the name of the team, and now it moves ahead. And here we can see all of the information going in variables. Once it captures the name, stored it in the variable, which is the name of the team. Now I'm asking the question. Here I'm taking the entire user's response as is. So if my team name is project XYZ, it's going to take the whole thing. Next, what's the description for your team? I'm just going to say sample description for now. I'll keep going ahead. Back and forth questions. What is the privacy for the team? Here, I'm using multiple choice. So it's a public team or a private team. So I'll say public. Those are the two security models for the teams. And now what I did here is I went ahead and called an action to call a flow. The flow went ahead and added the request in my system to go and create the team. And the flow sends a response back to PVA. And you can see this response here, which has an image, which has some data right here that says your team has been requested and is waiting for approval. You will be notified via email once the approval or the admins have approved it. So that's the basic premise of this conversation that the user will have with the bot. Of course, I'm ending it up with a standard survey that's baked into PVA. End of conversation is the name of the topic. So I'll say, yeah, that answered my question. I'm very happy. I was able to request a team and I rate this excellent. Is there anything else you need? No. Thanks for chatting with me. Bye. Okay. Now, what happened when we did all of this? Hopefully this loads. Here in this, let me close this tracking between topics. I don't think it likes that. So let's just go to team and straight away go to the authoring canvas. So right here, I have an action that I make. And when you call actions, you're basically calling a flow. And to this flow, I'm passing 4 attributes. I'm passing the ID of the user that I already get from the bot. I'm passing the team name that the user entered, description of the team, and the privacy of the team. So these are 4 attributes that I'm passing to this flow that I created. And from the flow, I get a that can only be text, number, or Boolean. So I'm getting a text response. And that response is what I printed as a message. And this is what you saw. Well, Raza, you said text. How did you show an image? It supports something known as Markdown language. It's not a fun language to learn, trust me. Very soon, this has also been announced. There will be the ability to use adaptive cards, which are much more powerful and easier to use in PVA. So I'm eagerly waiting for that experience to come. So let's see what the flow does. Let's click here. And this will directly launch the flow experience. And let's go to edit. So we can look at the flow in action. This is the flow in action. The trigger is PVA. These are the 4 attributes that I created inside my flow. That's why I could pass them from the bot to the flow. I get all this data. First thing, I needed the user's profile information. So I'm passing the user token. So I'm using that to get the user's profile. Next, I needed to start my approval process. Now here, if you observed, I did something interesting. I used the return value to power virtual agents action. Basically, I'm returning the context back to PVA, but I also added a parallel branch. Now bear in mind, when a chatbot calls a flow, the flow has to respond within 2 minutes. If it does not, it will time out and the bot will also say that there's an error. You don't want that. In my case, since I was creating an approval process, I knew that my approval is going to take time to respond, right? It could be days. That's why I added an approval or a parallel branch. On one side, I'm sending the response back to PVA. And this basically is that markdown kind of syntax here, exclamation, name, and then the link to that image that shows that team's image. It's not fun. But here's the markdown experience to send the response back to tell the user, to confirm that user that yes, your request has come in for creating it's going through an approval process. On the right hand side, I have started my approval process. I'm waiting for the approval response. Now we are at this point. So let's check this point in action. I am playing the role of the approver as well, by the way. This is my tenant. I'm the only user. So here's that request that came in that, Reza has made this request with this team name. This is the description, and he wants this as a public team. Do you approve or reject this? So directly from the email, I'm going to say, okay, this looks good. Let Reza have this team. I submit and I give my approval decision as approved. Now, once this decision is logged, if we look at the flow, it was waiting. Flow will now move ahead. And based on the response, it will take an action. If it's approved, I am using the create a team action inside of Flow to create the team, giving it the team name, the team description, and the privacy of the team. And since the user who triggered the conversing with the bot, I need to ensure that user is an owner of that team. So right here, because I have the token of the user, I'm going to add that user as a member and also make it the owner. And finally, once I do that, I will let that user their team is ready. Because I'm playing that user's role as well, here is the message that I get. And I could have created a link to the team as well. Reza, are you tricking us? No. Let's go to Teams and let's check it out if it actually created that team. Right here it is, Project XYZ. This team is a public team, I believe. That's what I selected. And if I go to, I'm getting really bad at teams, manage team, and I can see that Reza was granted owner and member, of course, automatically because I enhanced the role. So that's a bot, a self-service bot, wherein my users can come in, make the request for a specific team just by providing the details, conversation with the bot. And this bot, I can publish to teams just by simply going to channels, clicking on Microsoft Team right here, and making this available either to my entire tenant or a specific set of users. And I can make this, and I can have this go through an admin approval process as well, if that's how the team's administration for apps is. So that's the full version of PVA, requires that license. I want to still create bots for free at no additional. What do I do for that? Well, for that, you go to Teams. The key here is that everything happens in the context of Microsoft Teams. In Teams, if you go to apps, there is an app called Power Virtual Agents. Once you have this app installed, which I already do, if you go to this app, this is that same experience that you see, exactly the same experience is baked in for us. However, this is inside Teams. The difference here is, as long as you have a license for Microsoft Teams, you are able to do this. And here I can directly start creating a chatbot, or I can go to chatbots and look at all the chatbots that I have created across all the teams. And this is leveraging Microsoft Dataverse for Teams. You can see all of that in action right here. So here, if I go back and say I would like to create a bot, the first thing that it is going to ask me is for which team. So that's the limitation, right? They're giving you this for free, yes. But the key thing is this would be always limited to a team. So I have a team and say continue. That means that bot will only be shared by the owners and members of that specific team. That's the limitation. Here I can give my bot a nice name. Bots are multilingual as well. You can select the language that you want the bot to speak. When I say multilingual, decide the language up front. In I'm picking English. I click create. It starts creating the bot. Guess what? That entire experience of creating the bot, topics, entities, everything is available here. The only difference is when you publish, it only and only goes to Microsoft Teams. Now, in my case, I want to show you a couple of scenarios. Here I have a team that has a help desk power app. Okay, this is a power app that I created for a team by leveraging Microsoft Dataverse for Teams. And all the data for this specific power app is coming from that specific team's database, which is Microsoft Dataverse. Here users can create tickets. It goes through a process for approvals. Now, yes, the user can go to the app, select the team, go to the app, go to the ticket number, where it is, it's right here, and look at the status. But what if I want a bot where the user can just provide the ticket number and the bot can go and query the database for me? And that's exactly what I built leveraging Dataverse for Teams. We have ticket numbers 4, that's approved, 5 is pending, and 1 is rejected. 451. So here I have a bot called the help desk bot. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to say hello. Okay. So firstly, I'm greeting the bot. Hey, I need something, or hello. So the bot says, hi, Reza. So it's aware of who the user is. I'm a virtual agent. I can help you with your help desk tickets. Now here I can say, I need help with status of ticket, natural language. I spelled ticket wrong as well if you check it out. So I said, I need help. Understood my intent and said, okay, what's your ticket number? What I said, 451, let's say 1. Now here it calls Flow, query the backend database to figure out for ticket 1, which was rejected, which is right here. Now again, if I need another one, I can again say hello, but guess what? I can even do this. I need status for ticket number 5. Okay. Now, when I do that, it's trying to analyze my intent. Now, instead of asking for the ticket number, it knows my intent. It knows that, he or she has already given the ticket number. So the bot just moves ahead, and that's the smartness of the bot. Check that out. It did not ask me the ticket number. It understood my intent and jumped ahead and straight away let me know that number 5 is pending. And if I say ticket number 4 status, natural language, I'm questioning the bot in different ways. You see that? Ticket number 4 is approved. Let me show you one more scenario. This is something that I've demoed at a lot of different events as well, but probably not focus so much on the bot experience. Here I have an expense reporting app wherein users can come in and create expenses. Okay, so Reza has all of these expenses. These are my pending expenses. I can see the expense details. I can see the receipts for my expense and all that good stuff. Now, all of this is going into my database. It could be anything. However, for the user to know the status of the expense or what's going on, they have to keep coming back to the app. They got to question the app. You need to have filters, refiners, whatever. Or maybe I want to create an expense on the fly by just talking to the bot. Self-service again. What do I do in that case? Well, here I have an expense reporting. I'm hoping I'm selecting the right bot. Yeah, bot right here. So let me show you this. I'm going to say hello again. Right? I'm greeting the bot. So the bot now responds with, hi, I'm a virtual agent. Can I help you with today? Okay. I need help with my expense status. Okay. Again, spelled it wrong, natural language. It should understand my intent. Okay, Raza, which statuses are you looking out for? Are you looking out for every status, your pending expenses, approved or rejected? This I'm leveraging choice. That choice option, that's what I'm leveraging. I'll pick pending. It'll scan my database. Okay, next question. What's the dollar amount you're looking out for? This is where I'm using the money entity. Now check this out. $20. Not sure if this is going to work, but I'm trying it out. Natural language, it understands my intent. I could have written the number 20. I can write the text 20. It picks up my intent, which it actually did. It understood that it's a money entity. So it looks for that number. It picked it up and it scanned my database and got me all my expenses because it knows it's me who's conversing with the bot that are greater than $20. And you'll see that in action here. And the status is pending. And once again, to give this UI kind of an experience, I have leveraged the markdown language. It's not fun to use. Reza, there's no option to return an array. How did you do this? I leveraged emojis. It's a text data type that's being returned. I added a character 30, I believe, to give it a new line character. So it's not fun, but it is possible to create experiences like these as well. You can do with bots. Now I have 12 minutes. I was planning to build one, but I can quickly show you one simple experience here. Customer satisfaction survey. I'm an organization that sells products. Users can come in and give me feedback. So let's say a user comes in. Renu was the last comes in, and this is definitely not her email, but I'm just going to plug this in. And Renu says, you know what, I'm very satisfied with this. Great products. I hope Renu, you're satisfied with the products. So she gets that, the users come in, it's anonymously available. They can give me feedback. And all of this, I move into a backend repository. In this case, I'm leveraging a simple SharePoint list. Okay, very, very simple that has that information right here. Right. So I have this database. Now, the folks who are my marketing team who needs to validate this, who needs to know what's going on. Yes, they can come to SharePoint. Yes, they can look at things. Yes, they have to log in here and do this and do that. But what if I build a bot that they can just interact with and say, okay, I need to know what is the overall satisfaction level. I need to know how many have said satisfied. Those kind of things is what you can bake inside of bots. And that is very, very, very easy to do inside of Dataverse for Teams, considering it. And how do we do that? Once again, go to the PVA experience, go to start now, and pick your Microsoft team. Every Microsoft team is backed by a SharePoint site. That list, that satisfaction list, went into a team-based SharePoint site called PowerZone. So let's say this is my customer sat bot. Okay, that's the name I'm giving. It's in English. let's go ahead and create the bot. So it goes ahead and starts creating the bot experience. What I basically wanted to show you here is how you can go and call Flow to in turn go ahead and trigger the backend database, which in my case is SharePoint, to go and query the results and send back. So it's pretty straightforward. Again, time is of essence here. So while I build this, as you observe, if you want, you can ask me questions. How about that? If you have any questions in the chat, you can pop that. I'll try and answer that.
There are a few questions in the chat, Reza. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Okay. Let's just. Okay, so the first question from Ilyas was, do end users need to have access to the environment in order to use the bot?
So if the bot is, so do end users need to have access? So to use the bot, no. To interact or to author the bot, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Humayun Kabir Mamoon asked, how many maximum topics can I add for a trigger?
Okay, I think I got this in my.
Oh.
So this morning I
Yep.
was doing a YouTube live channel on bots as well. So there we had that question. So I believe that there is no limit on how many triggers you can create or trigger phrases you can create. Recommendation is minimum 5 to 10. Of course, you don't want to add a million in there. So I have not tested the absolute limit, but ideally you add as much as you want. I hope I was able to answer that.
Yes, that's lovely. Shall I keep asking questions or shall I be
Yes,
quiet
keep
whilst you type?
building. As I can do 3 things at once.
Oh,
Keep going.
wow. I'm really impressed now. Okay, so the next question from Sharia Dar was, if we have the same trigger for multiple topics, what will happen?
In that case, I think the one that was built, so I think it does like a first, I believe it picks up the first trigger. The first one that it gets in the list, it just goes in there. And that's why that topic feature I told you earlier, that AI based, is very important.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. The next question, again from Ilyas, is how many pattern templates are available and can we create our own patterns as well?
So when the
I'm not sure if it's just me, but I lost you there for a little while, Reza.
So what I was, can you hear me now?
I think you went off after I asked that question, so I don't think we heard your answer.
Can you still hear me? Just checking.
I can hear you now. Can definitely hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me. So the regular expression experience, the way it works is you can put in any regex. They've given us 3 options currently. If you need additional, if you go to regex.com, I believe that's the website. I may be wrong. There are over millions of regex expressions that you can steal from the web and use. I hope everyone heard that. Hello?
Yeah, double muted myself. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Thank
Okay.
you. The last question then that there is in
Yes.
the chat from Bilal Islam is, what is
Yeah.
the difference between Power Virtual Agent? What is the difference in PVA and Azure Bot
Mhm.
by using Azure Bot Composer with low code?
Yeah.
We can develop the bot also, and the cost is less. Yep.
Yes. PV. See again, this question is very similar to AI build and Azure Cognitive Services. I can leverage AI Builder to build things, and I can go to Azure Cognitive Services and build that same thing. So the cost is a lot more in AI Builder. Yes. Why? Because it's created for low code, no code experiences. Azure Bot Composer, the Bot Composer that you're talking about, you have that option as well, of course, to build. Yes, it is a lot less expensive. The thing here is the simplicity of the experience for creating is more targeted towards citizen developers. So there's a cost associated with it. But guess what? I'm selling PVA for teams today, so no cost. Sorry. I hope you heard the the question.
Yeah, I like that. Because there was a
So I'm
little side
not a salesperson.
conversation.
I just want to say that.
There was a little side conversation going on in the chat about why would you use, Dataverse for Teams and, to do this. And yeah, the conversation was around obviously the cost, right?
Right. Of course, it is the cost.
Okay, so I think that is all the questions.
All right,
Ilias,
so if you
actually,
guys were
Ilias,
still observing,
yeah,
yes, keep going.
Ilias did ask a clarification question about can we find it on regex.com? And I'm assuming that referred to the previous question
Yes,
about
the answer should be
patterns,
yes.
right?
But I don't
Yeah,
think that's the website, but the answer is yes.
okay, lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Reza.
So here I've called the flow PVA. I can define input parameters and I can also define output parameters of these three types. I'll pick text, and I know I'm really running short on time, so I'm just going to output. And here I'm going to query my data source. And just to play safe right now, I'm just going to get one result back, just one. Okay, so I'm just going to get that one result. And this result that I get, I am going to add this to a compose variable. And let's say all I add here is the comments that the user put in. Okay, comments that the user put in, that's going in this compose action. And the output of that, in fact, let's put this in a variable flow. Initialize. I'm running out of time. There's a much better way to do this, but again, look at the name of my variable. It's fine. All right, here I'm going to say set the variable, my wonderful variable, which is car commands. I'll put in this right here, and then I'm going to send that command back. So right now, all this flow does is when I trigger this flow, I have to pass a value. This value I'm not doing anything with, but I just you can pass a value. Then I'm going and querying that backend survey list of mine, which is my SharePoint list. I could have written queries here to say, get me the data which is satisfied, not satisfied. And I could have got that value as well as input from the chatbot. So the user could tell me which data are they looking out for. In the interest of time, I just said, get me the first result. And from that first result, go and grab the comments that the user has put in. That's it. And that I'm returning back to my bot. Always rename this to something nice. Right now, I'm just calling this PVA1 and I'm saving my flow. So I've just created a flow. And if you were observing, this flow is being created inside Teams, inside the Power Virtual Agents experience. Is that right? Once I've done building this, I can close this and get back to my bot authoring experience, which it should load in the next 3 minutes. All right. Here, all I did is when the user enters this trigger phase, I say, hello, this is the custom bot. Now let's go and call an action. So I'll call an action. And this time I will pick my flow. I was passing a parameter, right? Name. It's asking me for that. Let's say send the bot display name. And then the result, I'm bringing an output variable that's right here. And I show that value in a message. I'll show this right here. I'm done with this. And now we will test right here. The user will say customer sat data. Okay, custom sat data. Boom. Let's see if the demo gods are with me. This should work. There you go. You see, it returned the value good. Where is good coming from? Well, that's the first command right here. So I was able, again, this is a very simple example, but I just wanted to show you how you can leverage PV, how you can call a flow directly from PVA. And if I was to select this flow again, the run history will show it right here. If I was to select this, I can see the entire run history details of the flow. Once the flow loads, this might take time. So I'm going to just move ahead back to my presentation quickly. That was it. Q&A is already kind of done. I used the opportunity to build something and do Q&A on the fly. I hope you enjoyed this rapid session on bots. These are all my details. And finally,
Reza,
thank you.
you are phenomenal, right? you are absolutely phenomenal. I've just got there. We have a couple more questions. Just
Yes, it's fine.
right in at the end, if you don't mind.
It's okay.
Is the PVA bot only for tenant users?
No. So once you build your bot, you can make it available anonymously. You can have it on your website. You can have it in Slack. You can have it anywhere you want. You can go through those channels that I showed earlier, right here. You see, you can have it on your website, Facebook, Skype, so many options. The answer is no. But for this, you need the full license.
Okay. Another question, and I'm not quite sure what this is getting at, is only at org level. I'm guessing that is, yeah.
Yeah. That also, I understand what it's trying to say, but yeah, next question.
Okay, from where can we download bot conversations?
From where can we download? So I believe all of this goes into these chat transcripts. I think get loaded into Microsoft Dataverse, so you
Okay.
can go there and grab it. It's in a special table inside of Dataverse. You can even query that if required, but all that requires premium licensing.
Fantastic. Well, Reza, phenomenal as always, right?
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Thank you from all of us for that fantastic session. Okay. And
Most
thanks for
welcome.
coming
Thank you
along.
for inviting me again.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're on the hour now, and we are going to move to our